This ought to be a good one. Elon Musk is questioning director Christopher Nolan's integrity after learning that Lupita Nyong'o may have been cast as Helen of Troy in the upcoming film adaptation of the Odyssey. First, let's watch a snippet from the teaser trailer.
No one could stand between my men and home. Not even me.
On Sunday morning, one ex-user claimed that if Lupita Nyong'o plays Helen of Troy, it would be an insult to the Greek poet Homer, the one who wrote the Odyssey. The user writes, Helen of Troy was fair-skinned, blonde, and the face that launched 1,000 ships, because she was so beautiful that men started a war over her. Casting choices that make the premise incoherent are admissions that the story was never the point and an insult to the author.
Musk responded on that same X post saying Chris Nolan has lost his integrity.
Daily Wire host Andrew Cleven responded to an image shared of Lupita Nyong'o on X, where Nyong'o is being compared to actress Diane Kruger, who played Helen's character in the 2004 film Troy. Cleven writes, the pic in the retweeted post below is an unfair picture of Lupita Nyong'o, who is not only a spectacular actress but also a babe. Also, Helen wasn't a blonde either. I'm going to take the road less traveled here and comment on this movie after I've seen it. Rad, I know, but still.
The Odyssey is premiering on July 17th. It stars Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, and Robert Pattinson, and a bunch of other people. Variety reports Nyong'o's role in the film has actually not been confirmed yet. And that is pretty key to this whole discussion, which is way too premature because we don't actually know what her role is in the movie. This was like an online rumor that she's going to be Helen.
Okay.
Maybe she'll be Helen. And then it was accompanied with a very, frankly, unflattering picture of Lupita Nyong'o from a different movie. A movie where she plays a slave. It might have been 12 Years a Slave. I don't know if she was in that movie. I'm sorry if it's not that one. Where she is, by the nature of the movie, is like beaten down and subjugated and is not looking her best. She's a very beautiful woman. Further, this is getting a little ridiculous because this is now right-wing people are doing basically cultural appropriation.
Right.
Like, Helen of Troy is a fictitious character, She was created supernaturally by the gods, so really she can look any which way they want.
Right.
And then if you're saying, well, she's not Greek, so she couldn't play Helen. Okay, Matt Damon isn't Greek either, right? He's of Irish. He's one of your people.
I think so. Yeah.
So then, why can he play Odysseus? I should say, I'm getting ahead of myself. I am super excited for this movie. This is the movie I am most excited about for a long while. I love the Greek myths. I love Christopher Nolan. He's my favorite director. I love everybody they've cast in it. I cannot wait to see this movie. And like Andrew Cleven, I will withhold judgment about whether she is right for this role, but there's no, to me, they could have a black woman play this role and have it. Now, Diane Kruger was terrific as Helen of Troy in the Trojan War movie with Brad Pitt and a bunch of other people. I thought that movie was great. I thought Dan Kruger is beautiful and played that role perfectly, but okay, this is a different movie with a different person. Sorry.
Yeah. So first of all, I was first aware of this controversy when I knew we were going to be discussing it here today. So I don't know if it's primarily like an online right thing or an Elon thing, or if it has transcended as a controversy, those kind of bounds.
Yeah.
The second part of it is, I mean, even in the quotes we were reading, I mean, there seems to be a very obvious racial, I don't even know if you would describe it as subtext. I mean, it's pretty overtly a suggestion that a black woman shouldn't be playing Helen of Troy, right?
That is the suggestion.
So, I mean, that I find just generally distasteful, given that, as you say, it is a fictitious character. More to the point, well, also to the point, like, so we're getting into this thing where we have the idea of what a character is supposed to resemble, and we're just, if someone casts a character who doesn't fit this preordained notion, that's a loss of integrity. I mean, we were talking just in an earlier segment about Christian-related movies. Like, Jesus was not, in fact, by all accounts, like a blue-eyed blonde person. Is that a loss of integrity?
He doesn't usually play. This gets to a point that Mediterranean people, like the Mediterranean is surrounded by 3 different continents, but if you live on the coast of northern Africa, off the coast of the Mediterranean, or in the Middle East, or in Europe, all those people, the olive skin complexion that appears in literature is all tan-looking people who kind of look similar to each other. It's not black people, white people, and Arab people, the way we think of these 3 continents, which goes to, in this time period, they would not have recognized these kinds of distinct. This comes up when they have Cleopatra played by a kind of white-looking or, again, all Italian or Spanish-looking person. Like, well, that is actually fine because, again, all these people resemble. It's Jesus, Cleopatra, Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
There's more in common ethnicity-wise because our modern-day conception of the white race and the black race is actually a modern invention. It's not something that ancient peoples, they did not see it that way.
Right. I mean, which again brings me back to the point. I mean, I know you are generally reluctant, I would say, to get into discussions of identity or racial identity and what should fit and what shouldn't. But I mean, this just gets back to the idea that to me, this seems a kind of confected controversy to lambaste a very good black female actor and to try to, in some fashion, discredit her. And obviously I found that completely distasteful and inappropriate by the people doing it.
And the reason I'm knocking any conservative who's jumping on this bandwagon is, again, this is typically has been something of a more left-wing or woke complaints that you've cast a white person when it should have. And I'll give you an example that actually occurred to this week. There's a new Wuthering Heights movie coming out. Wuthering Heights is one of my favorite
it's a great
books
novel.
ever.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's Margot Robbie is Catherine, and Jacob Elordi is Heathcliff. And Heathcliff is described in the book as dark-skinned gypsy, which could mean Romani, but again, dark-skinned for Emily Bronte could have also meant swarthy Italian or Spaniard, would not have necessarily meant black person, and Jacob Elordi is a pretty white-looking person of some distant Hispanic descent, something like that. Fantastic actor, great-looking guy, really good. And they're saying it should be a black person. And similarly, I would say, well, no, it doesn't. Frankly, for the character of Heathcliff, it could be an Indian person, it could be an Asian person, it could be his race is really not a part of the. I mean, he's an other to their society, but you can read that any which way. It's almost because of his character is what makes him such an other. It's not. Race is not a primary importance in the story, so the idea that you shouldn't cast Jacob Elordi because he was described as dark-skinned and he's not dark-skinned is similarly idiotic to me for the exact same reason.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I last read Wuthering Heights when I was in high school, which is a little while ago. It is a fantastic book. It's so, amazing novel. But I don't recall Heathcliff ever being described explicitly as a black man in it, right?
Dark skin,
right? Yeah. So there's anyway. The point is that I just think, as a broad matter, we should just allow artists, be they directors, casting directors, or actors, to take those roles and those stories in different directions rather than policing it all. I have never been a fan of the whole concept of a cultural appropriation. I actually think that even if you look at the history of music, for example, part of its genius has been its capacity. The blending. And the creation of new things out of the blending.
It's true of cuisine, it's true of art, it's, absolutely. The more of it, the better, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Glad we're in agreement.
All right, then.
Some of music's biggest stars, talking of music, took shots at the Trump administration during Sunday's Grammy Awards. We'll look at that next.